are watching Sport Talk with GTZ, General Tata Zonke. Sport Talk, the General's view. GTZ, General Tata Zonke.
Hey, asibingelele mbukeli we Sport Talk with GTZ, episode 15. So I have to apologize. On the previous episode, I said episode 15. So today, episode 15. Asibingelele mbukeli we Sport Talk. It's all about football. So you know, ukuthi masikhuluma ngebhola, siba nama opinions. And so today, kuningi leso besikhuluma ngako. So besikhuluma ngeAFCON. Bafana Bafana iphumile. So besikhuluma nge-EPL. Cembu le-Chelsea lina coach lomusha. So besikhuluma nge-last 8 ye-AFCON njengaloku hey kumatima amadoda labaningi bathi Bafana baphumele ngaphandle kusele emadvodza eMorocco yango 2024. Shout out to Cherry ngilasikhona khona eMbombela batholakala ku R40 Riverside Park extension 6. Mangabe ufuna kubavakashela noma ufuna kwathi kabantu ngabafonela ku 013 170 8100. This coming Saturday on the 10th of January 2026 you can come book a test drive and enjoy a voice roll on us as Cherry. So Saturday, mangabe na ufuna to test driver eneka yala ka Cherry, you can come bese bakuniketa ke a voice road ube mnandi ube njalo. Believe me you, angeke uphumwa kayithanzi inye imoto ya ka Cherry la. On my far left, Mshika, football analyst Lambombela. You are welcome, my brother, once again.
Putlomkol, good evening, and my colleagues.
Yeah.
Good evening, our viewers at home. We're back again, doing what we enjoy the most. It's about football, the obsession of football, nothing else.
Do you enjoy what you are doing?
We do. We enjoy, and the passion, it's about imparting the knowledge to those that do not have access to it.
Nice one. In the weekly, Coach Sandile Makati Mdawo, ukahle mna.
Yeah, GTZ, thank you so much, and greetings to the panel, my colleagues, and greetings to the viewers. I'm very good. I'm very excited about the show today.
Nice one. Coach Pete, the legend himself. Are you good, sir?
No, right. GTZ, Badalil, Makan, Babugil, Chau Keron, say push.
Asipushe madoda ngaphambi kokuthi siyipushe nje siyekutheni asicale ngalama chop and changes la kendeka ku EPL icembu le Chelsea lihlukana nemceceshi Enzo Maresca la sayina umceceshi Liam Rosinia. Umceceshi Enzo Maresca uwina 2 trophy kulela cembu le Chelsea leyikhulu kakhulu mhlambe naye lakata uthi makahleli phansi asho ku acha isifuba ngileya Club World Cup ukhumbula ukuthi bekunama Melody Sundowns ngicabanga ukuthi tukubabukele be Sport Talk iyawuletha inkumbuto ukuthi kube iChelsea lele winner iClub World Cup. Was it a good decision Sandile for Chelsea ukuthi hambise Enzo Maresca?
GTZ and the viewers, I think for me, I don't think it was a good decision, and I'll explain why.
Yes.
Enzo bambone from Leicester doing well go championship. He was doing very well, and ukhumbule ukuthi u17 na Pep Guardiola previously as an assistant.
Yes.
So ukade a lot of knowledge, technical acumen yakhe. I think it's spot on. So coming back to Chelsea, ufika babuya ku season whereby they were not part of the Champions League. So nagafika they are new owners. They bought a lot of players, so it's not easy. First season, I think they had about 13 or 14 new players. So in other words, he had to start a team from scratch. So he did well the first season because they qualified for Champions League. And also they were playing go Conference League, and then they won that cup. Then Club World Cup, they did very well. But I think mistakenly it was on his side and the board here, Chelsea. One, on his side, he was fooled by the Noodles performance by Joel Pedro. And I figured the first 2-3 games, he was scoring a lot of goals. Then Michael season, then they had to take Jackson go loan to Bayern Munich, which for me was the biggest mistake. Because Jackson in the previous season, even in double figures in terms of goals. And it was his first season in African striker, 21 years. I think when the next drop by Jackson. So now, Joel Pedro, when it comes to the league, after playing so well, go Club World Cup, he lost form. And then there was Delap, the new striker, he got an injury. So which means now Chelsea good league, they didn't have an out-and-out striker. That was a big problem. Number two, Cole Palmer was having a terrible injury. Then there's this top centre back from England, Levi Cahill. He got a very bad injury, so he was supposed to be out for the entire of the season. Then coach made a recommendation to the board to say he needs a seasoned centre back to replace the player that was injured. Then the board couldn't replace that centre back. So from a management point of view, by lastly level, because all the centre backs at Chelsea, they are young. There is no leadership off the ball. There is no one who's commanding the back four. And then from the centre forward, Joel Pedro, first 2 games, Club World Cup, he did very well. But on the league, he hasn't been performing very well. Then also the new striker, Delep, was injured. And I think all of those factors contributed a great deal. And the chop and changes of the lineups. Today, James is playing right back. Next time, James is playing central midfield. I think there was no proper continuation from the Club World Cup, of which they did very well. But to the league, they've been dismal.
Ubala liphonile libaluleke kakhulu coach lelema injuries. I think point clearly currently lel affecta iqembu le Manchester City nekulimala kwabadlali lapha Pep Guardiola uyibona ngathi iyahamba lencola ngoba makathi kubuya lo mdlalo lona kulimala lona. Not so long ago, I think it was Sunday, ulimalela ngama central back akhe lelela ithulo ngakavami ebholeni. You wanna add something coach? Maresca was a good decision ukuthi Chelsea imhambise sakashilo coach ima factors lamanyenti la kene ukuthi iqembu le Chelsea mhlambe lingaperform.
Okay. Thanks, GTZ. Two things that I would like to mention. The first one, if you look at Chelsea under Abramovich ownership,
Yes.
they did well. They were elite club, and then came this new leadership after you had the Russia problems, and then Abramovich was put out here to sell the club. So you can see now the hierarchy that they've got a structural problem in Chelsea. You know, even if you can bring any coach, but the problem is there. But secondly, Chelsea, they've assembled a very expensive squad, you know. And I want to echo words from Jose Mourinho. After they won the Club World Cup, Jose Mourinho said the Club World Cup does not take it as a pre-tournament. Okay. You know, it does not take it as a status of like your Europa. Yeah, and then he even said it that Chelsea going to that performance is going to affect them in the Champions League, and you can see the sign.
True.
Yes, the signs are there. They are not doing well. Yeah. You know, they are not doing well.
And I can agree with you. Chelsea is one of the team less I never done about Durari pins in our 70s. And I think yesterday I was reading somewhere with Sani Badali, Labang 7, Leba Patala with Chelsea. Leba saying about 3 to 4 games, Bapuma Baham. Mishik, what you say?
Yeah, GTZ and our viewers at home, I think from what I have seen and observed, the departure of Maresca has more to do with his ambition as a coach. Remember, we've got role models. In whatever we do, we emulate people. You could be emulating SD, you could be emulating Uputri, you could be emulating whoever. But the mistake which we need to resist, or the temptation which we need to resist from as human beings, is to think that we have arrived. One of his shortcomings, the coach, he failed to understand that he is still up and coming in the game. He might have worked with the best, but he is not the best. And Chelsea has given him the platform to showcase his talent. The Club World Cup was a great exhibition for him. He should have taken it upon his strides to say, this is the project that I need to take forward. But in my view, he was too ambitious to be seen in the same tax bracket with your Mourinho's, Pep Guardiola's, who could come and tell you, today I don't want this, I want this. Those coaches, they've got pedigree. They've done it. They've won those caps. They've won quite a lot of things. He is not there. I feel he should have been more patient and be realistic with himself to say, Chelsea has given me the opportunity. I've started with the World Cup tournament. It's in my bag. Now, what I need to do is to build from there. But instead, he got up or he got obsessed with some, in my view, football petty issues, like the medical issues. The main reason is that they did not fire that, and I think we need to demystify the notion that Maresca was fired by Chelsea. He stepped down on the basis that he was not impressed or he did not see any improvement on the medical report of his players, the injuries and everything. He felt, in his own accord and volition, he felt that the situation could not be attainable, hence his departure. So he made a blunder. Personally, he made a blunder. He should have stayed.
Une Europe.
Yeah, can I maybe
Win a two. Isn't it?
can I add something to
And they win a Club World Cup or win a Euro.
conference?
Yes, conference. Yes, sure.
But I want to add up to what Mshiga has said. I think he's also correct in terms of the medical issue, because the thing is, Chelsea had a lot of players who were injured, and he felt like he was under pressure. He wanted to have results. Then from the medical team, they gave him a report to say so and so can't play so much minutes in the game. A player like James, for example. Then there was a time where he played him for about 3 games, 90 minutes, but the report was like he can't play 90 minutes.
Okay.
And then after those games, then he had to relapse from the injury. Then he came to a decision to say the medical team is not supporting him, but the problem was him not respecting the report from the medical team.
Nice one. Tambu and Manchester United ihlukana nemqeqeshi hey bekunzima kulomqeqeshi lona ngathi noma bekabhala acisha yini kuyacala licembu leManchester United ukuthi liqedze ileague lihlele ku number 15 Ruben Amorim eliyamdedela licembu leManchester United lithi mina kethu sekwanele bhuti sasikubeketele, you keep on saying you're trying, you keep on saying they want to bekasola ama journalists, but ama journalists this time around I think they were right. Ruben Amorim nje
it was a good decision
from
the Manchester Board of Directors to let him go.
Okay.
Remember, he did not enjoy a surrounding support from the shareholders there. Ratcliffe, the shareholder of Manchester United,
yes.
He has made the prerogative decision to appoint that guy. Albeit the criticism that he should not bring him on board. He came in. He tried what he could try. But his downfall emanated or came from his stubbornness in terms of adapting to the culture of Manchester United. Manchester United has always been a team known for its attacking prowess. He came there. He introduced his 3-4-3 formation at the back, central, and they warned him to say, this might not work. This is against the culture of Manchester United. And his reaction was that, I know what I'm doing. I've done that in Portugal, in Lisbon. They said, okay, now listen here, this is not Portugal. This is Manchester United. Is there a way in which you can try to change or at least understand the strength of our players and the culture of the team as well? He said, you know what? It's either my way or your highway. Then in training, those that are privy to see him, they allege that during the training session, some of the players were just being kept at the peripheral side of the pitch. You understand? Simply because he felt in his own understanding that they could not fit into his system. And that if by the minute he does not get what he wants, he will go and grab a player, physical as in like grabbing a player to say, you go there and you do what I want you to do. And the moment you do that to players, I can assure you, you are losing the dressing room. Players stop respecting you. You're destroying the camaraderie. You destroy the euphoria, the excitement, and the synergy within the players, and you are out.
Sise Cherry Mbombela R40 Riverside Park Extension 6 ngilafuna usithole khona this coming Saturday. We are so excited as Cherry, and if you wanna test drive or come and see these beautiful cars, you are more than welcome. Book a test drive and enjoy a voice roll on us on the 10th of January 2025. It's happening here Las Kona Cherry. You wanna add on what Mshiga is saying?
No, I want to go back a little bit back.
Yes.
Let's go 2013.
Okay.
Let's go 2013. After Alex Ferguson retirement. How many coaches have coached Manchester United until now?
10.
10.
Yes.
Yeah. So what does that tell you? So that is telling you that which means same problem. We've got a structural problem. The head coach is not a solution in football. Head coach is not a solution. Because a head coach, it is better now because you'll come up with your few staff, maybe you recommend the goalkeeper coach and what. But when you come there, you find there's a board, there's management, there's staff, there's players, there's culture of the team. So you need to come there and influence. The first thing that you need to influence is the culture of the team.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you can't influence the culture of the team, you'll have a problem. Because you can see with Manchester United, how many coaches have been there? Manchester United is number one team in the world, in terms of support. And then in terms of revenue, now they've gone down, which Real Madrid now is taking over. But in terms of support, they're number one. So it tells you, even if they can get your Pep Guardiola or any coach, but if they haven't solved that problem because it's a structural problem, starting from the board.
Ngivela omunye umuntu naye asho njalo kuma TikTok asho ukuthi le problem ayisi lapha. Don't wanna mention na Kaizer Chiefs usho njalo ukuthi noma kungafika muphi coach nalapha Chiefs kutaba nenkinga angasho njalo. Mangabe ngumlandeli weChelsea, all the best. If you follow Manchester United, all the best. Bafana kaufela. Bafana Bafana iphumile ku AFCON yango 2025-2026 ihlulwa licembu lase Cameroon. Uyakhala umqeqeshi welicembu lesivele Bafana Bafana ukhala ngekuthi wathi makafika wakusho lokho wathi isifiso sakhe ukuthi kule league yase South Africa badlali bakhona labanye baye abroad bayodlala ku overseas so that maka select ama player akhona ku selecta a quality players bantu lesengathi sebavuthiwe baphekiwe. But lamilithi ngalesikhathi uqashwa angisho ushaya research wabona ukuthi le league lena akusi league le seyiproducer kakhulu badlala abaya eEurope. I think logo for sure bekakwadi naye but mhlambe wathi makafika South Africa wacabanga ukuthi mhlambe kutita ugucuka tinto badlali bayiphesheya. Ukhala ngekuthi icembu lase Cameroon libe nebadlali laba ngqono kunalaba labahambe ngayo. Was it a good statement lesikhuluma ngumqeqeshi Mshika?
I don't think it was. I don't want to say it was not a good one because we will sound like we are harsh towards the coach. But the statement was somehow unfortunate because it has just come after Bafana Bafana got eliminated. And I mean, sometimes in life you need to be content with what you have, deal with the situation at hand. Hence, we say in football, you make the wine with the grapes that you have. He took the reins, knowing very well that he's got few players that are applying their trade overseas. And he has been getting some results. I think he needs to do a proper analysis of his performance and at least make an admission to say, look, I lost. Next time, maybe I will try. Because when you look at the game, I mean, football does not lie. Figures do not lie. In order to be the best, you need to beat the best. We got to the last 16. We beat our fellow guys here in the region, Angola. We beat Zimbabwe. And then we could not beat Egypt. And now we got defeated by Cameroon. So it tells you something that we failed to beat the best. And that's a reality, that's a sad reality we need to deal with. Now, going back and say we should have had this one, we should have brought this one, I think at this moment it might not help us. He must just take responsibility. And saying he must take responsibility, I'm not necessarily saying that he has to be recalled. I'm far from reaching that decision. I'm not in that tax bracket to make the decision whether he has to go over. But what I'm trying to say, he has done well for Bafana Bafana. Yes. And Bafana Bafana, guys, let's go back and check. They've done incredibly well. So it's a question of saying, look, all I wanted to do, it just could not give me the results which I desired on the game. And guess what? Simply because he lost, everyone now has become a coach. Everyone now knows what Bruce should have done. They understand, because things could not go his way. But had Bruce won against Cameroon, we will be talking a different thing. So maybe for once as a nation, let's just say, you know what, we're just unlucky. We got few chances. We missed them. They penalized us. And that's football. You can't miss such clear chances at that level and expect to win the game.
You are talking about a throwing board. I think your point, let's agree on a throwing board. You want to add, Makati? Well, okay. I'll give you a chance to add. But my question to you is, Liputsa lonakale kuphi kule AFCON?
In my view, I don't think there's any problem. GTZ to the viewers, because the nil puts are necessary. So, but I think maybe before I add to what she was saying,
Yes.
Gule game le Cameroon. For me, Mangbuka starting lineup, I was a little bit confused. But the game my looking at how we were playing the first 5-10 minutes, I think the game plan for me it was okay. But maybe the personnel in certain positions I was not quite happy. Especially good left wing back. Because sometimes people, when you play 3 at the back and 2 wing backs and then 2 defensive midfielders, they think you are defensive minded. But the aim of playing 3 at the backs and 2 pivots is to allow your wing backs to go as high as they can. But now the question is, do we have a positive outcome on our wing backs? The answer was no. Mudau is good going up and down, he's good with his recovery, but it doesn't have a final product. Then with Kabin on the other side, for me, he was thrown on the deep end. And if you look at him, profiling him against Mudiba, I think Mudiba was going to be a perfect suit, in my view, in that system that he was playing. But the game plan for me, I think it was spot on. The mistake Lebe corner on the day is what Mshiba alluded to earlier when he was responding to your question. We got our chances the first 10-15 minutes. We got about 2 or 3 clear chances. We couldn't convert. That was the difference on the day. But again, then the coach of Cameroon was able to see that we came up with a game plan which we didn't expect. Then they had to fake an injury, I think around 19-28 minutes. Then they had to change their structure. That's where everything went southway for us. Then the problem that we had in responding to your question, we couldn't answer all the questions that was asked by Cameroon. That's the problem.
We couldn't answer all the questions that was asked by Cameroon. Utsite umceceshi Christian Kofane yona 19 years odlala ulicembu leBayin Leverkusen ushisa indlela lesimanga kodwa ke bekahambe naye lomunye wethu lomncane khambela akamnike tanga lithuba coach konakale phi coach kuleya Bafana Bafana iAFCON overall nje so irapper le issue Bafana Bafana.
No, firstly, Hugo Bruce, he transformed South Africa.
True.
He transformed Bafana Bafana. We need to thank him for that. That's the first point.
So Hugo.
So in terms of the game, like my colleague is saying, we started well. We got 3 chances. Mufukeng 1-on-1, that was a clear, we missed it. So in terms of the game plan, if you can check, 10 to 15 minutes, the defense of Cameroon, they were at sea. They were at sea. They did not have answers.
True.
So imagine if we have managed to score 1 or 2 goals, the complexion of the game will have changed. You know, but that's football. So we need to have plan B. So if you check, I want to go to that point of Hugo Bruce saying he wanted our players. I want to bring you to why he wanted our players to say they must go and play outside. Because most of the composition of players, except from Gezane and Foster, most of them are PSL players. Yeah. Do you know what's the problem? Yes. The problem is game intensity. The game intensity of the PSL is not the same game intensity when you play in La Liga 1, when you play in PL, when you play in Serie A. Most of the players who are playing there, they are playing those leagues. That is why when you check, in terms of the game of Cameroon, we could not compete with them in terms of 50-50 balls. All of the time, our reaction, speed. Those guys, they were first on the ball. They were first on the ball. So that's why Hugo Bruce, because he understands that.
Yes.
He understands that technical, that in terms of the game intensity and to take the game Because if a team is saying gear 1, you say you have gear number 2. If you're saying gear number 2, you have to arm the tempo of the game. So we cannot do that. Because we are not used to playing to that intensity of the game. That is why he's saying some of your players, they need to go and play in those leagues to experience them.
So that they can come back and assist.
Yes, and assist Bafana
Such
Bafana.
game.
Because that can tell you why we only managed to win against Zimbabwe. Most of the players of Zimbabwe, they're playing. They're playing in South Africa.
Yeah.
So which means our intensity is the same. Angolan players, most of them, they're playing in Angola. So why? Because now, when we're playing against Egypt, we did not have an answer. When we're playing against Cameroon, we didn't have an answer.
So awumsole umqeqeshi.
So we need to improve. Yes, in terms of the selection of the players sometimes. But if you look at the goal was a standard action. It was a corner. Yeah. And the Cameroon player was alone on the far side. You know, and he hit the ball, it deflected, it became a goal. So the only thing that we did, we made a mistake, was for us, Cameroon, to score us early. Because that was a crucial moment goal. Because most of the time, as coaches will say, don't allow them to score them because they will come at us. So we must contain them. It's only us who must get a goal. So we must, defensive shape, we must contain them. They must make sure that we do not score in the first 10, 15 minutes. So Cameroon managed to get the goal in the first 5, 10 minutes of the game. And then it changed the complexion of it. That is why when we got a goal in the last minute, we're supposed even to get a goal where Mahoba flicked that ball, but it was unfortunate. Yeah, it doesn't. So you need to look at all the phases of the game.
Nice one. Niyabila.
Yeah, no,
Ngiyanibona phela ukuthi niyabila. Leliphoto seliyabila. Niyabila.
no. I just wanna allude something. Mshika said something about taking accountability. Hugo Bruce. I think, and it's a crucial moment. We just came back from Cameroon, just landed. Press conference. I feel like he could have protected his players. In my view, I feel like, I don't want to say like Mshika was saying that he was wrong to say that, but maybe it was premature to say it. But again, what Coach Pity is saying, I completely agree, but partially so, not 100%. And I'll explain, colleagues, why. In the previous AFCON, we had, in the starting lineup, almost 90% of the players were from South Africa, playing for Mamelodi Sundowns. We competed against Morocco. In I think it was in the quarterfinal or last 8, if I'm not mistaken. Crucial stage of the competition. Morocco is compressed with almost European players.
Yes.
But technically, we were there. I think in the last years, in the South Africans, we're not sharp enough for the competition. Wow. Yes, we are fit and ready, but we're not sharp enough for the competition. I agree, the European thing, it contributes, because sometimes players must learn to solve problems on themselves.
Yes.
So if they are playing in Europe, like Coach is saying, they will learn certain things and certain moments how to behave. I think we were let down by our own mistakes, like Coach Peter was saying. If you look, Konaki is not a situation. And if you look, for me, Forsler let us down in that game. The goal, he was late to step up. The entire centre back, after they dealt with the first ball from the corner kick. And then Mbogazi, CBC, and Gezane, all of them pushed up. But Foster was at the back. Hence, VAR ruled it to be a goal. Again, we got a chance to make it 1-1. And we scored. I think Mfukeng scored. And then it was ruled offside. Who was late to step up to the next line? It was Forsler. So, and Forsler is playing in Europe. He should know better. Hence, I'm saying maybe it's individuals who are not sharp enough in terms of reaction to short moments whereby now the game demands you to make 2-3 steps to the next line.
Uyabila Mshika. Ubiliswa yini?
Football is a game of moments and opportunities, chances. And football has got, in my view, has got 3 phases, critical phases, which I normally call the 3 turns. First 10 minutes of the game, psychologically, you need to switch on as players because the concentration levels, they can drop. And once they drop, starting to find your footing, they punish you with 1 goal. And then they play, they delay the game. And then before you know it, 5 minutes before the second half, they can score. That is another 10 minutes. They wait, and then the last 10 minutes, they can score. But coming back to the whole setup of our tactical plan, what I saw, especially against Cameroon, was a poor tactical synchronization and coordination. As a striker, Frosler, you are not allowed to break more than 3 lines as a striker. You can break first line, drop a little bit back. Second line, you are allowed to track back. But then once you break the third line,
Too far.
you are too far, because once we regain position and then we want to do the transition, you'll be found wanting, you won't be there. We need you up front to finish off. Now, coming to that goal that we considered, I mean, he's from deep. He comes now, he wants to defend or compete with jewels. He does not have that strength. Whereas when the whole structure, they were moving to say, now, let's go up, your full backs and the center pairing were moving up. He stays behind. That was a poor tactical coordination and a poor tactical synchronization.
Imali in a Senegal. Overall, these sides are made for the 41 time, with Senegal leading 19 wins, Mali 8, while 13 matches that they've played were throws. The Gambule Mali, my first game, I was so convinced in Mali. I'm not sure lately. I'm not sure, honestly speaking. I'm sure about Senegal, but I'm not sure about Mali. I stand corrected. Mali coach.
Yeah, these are 2 giants from West Africa. Yeah, firstly, I would like to congratulate teams who have who made it to the top 8. And then going back, if you look again, we've got 3 teams who are from North Africa, and then 5 teams from West Africa. So we don't have a team from our SADC and Central Africa. So let alone, it tells you a lot that we, because now is North Africa against West Africa. So going back to Mali and Senegal,
Yes.
you know, the odds favor Senegal.
Yes.
Yes, but this is football, you know, because this is a tournament. So a team which will rise into occasion on the day, you know, because you can't take Mali lightly. You've got your Pisoma, they are playing in Tottenham, so he's a captain, you know. So if they can rise into occasion in that game, you know, and execute their game plan well, they can surprise Senegal, because they odds favor Senegal.
Abanaye Woyo Okoribai after Tole red card Gilkambu Le Mali. Bana Sinayoko. Sinayoko. Lasine Sinayoko. I think it's one of the team leader physics, Coach Makat. They know, would see if Mangabeguma 50-50 balls, they will come aggressive. In most cases, they always come as victorious. Guma Peklis, Emma 50-50.
Yeah, I think I'll echo with Coach Pete what he just alluded to. Senegal, I think they are favorites to take this one, but I think it will be who's hungry enough on the day to want to take the game. But looking at Mali, how they've played the group stages and how they've also progressed with last 16, they're a team that is very sound, tactical. Tactical acumen of the coach is very, very sound. But I think first thing he understood the profile of the players that he has, that probably is not a team that can really play an open game and try to challenge all the teams that are there. But in terms of defensive structure, limiting your time and space on the ball, my lines of confrontation, they are very narrow because they play a little bit more compact. I think they rely on their physical conditioning. We want to find you on extra time, because if you look, they've played out so many draws. They don't concede a lot of goals, but they're not scoring as well. But they are relying on penalties. I think they've won 1 game on their group stage with a penalty, and again, they've managed to go all the way to the extra time. So which means their game plan will be try to frustrate Senegal. The longer the game stays 0-0, it favors them, because Senegal, they know they are favorites, which means if the game stays longer 0-0, it gives Mali confidence and it frustrates Senegal. But looking at the front three of Senegal, I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think my Mali is on Senegal for this one.
Kuna papa kuwele lapha welcome le Senegal watches number 26 imshika udlala welcome le Villarreal Spain. Top player.
And I hope they don't find themselves in a situation where they compete with one another, because Senegal has got players that have got egos. And you don't want players that are egocentric in their approach. You want players that complement one another. He is good, and he's not the only player that is good. But going to Mali has shown an element of, I don't know, those guys are resilient.
Yeah.
Against Tunisia, they got a red card.
Yes.
But they could still manage, just like what Coach has just said. Spot on, very much spot on. They can. The longer the game goes, they know what to do. So I think the physical, psychological, and social conditioning of the players, I think the coach has gotten it right thus far. Otherwise, they could not have beaten Tunisia.
You want to
And then
add something?
Coach Pitt comes in, sorry.
Yes.
Even the attitude. If you look at the goal that they've conceded against Tunisia at the time, I think the game was like 3-4 minutes towards the end. But they've managed to push, which I meant down, they've managed to push to get a penalty, then they've equalized. Even the mental attitude.
Mara mjita weTunisha ubaqenzile madoda. Hayi leya penalty leya.
Yeah.
Awubaqenzile. But at the final stage of the game, you concede penalty lula so. Yeah. If you wanna test drive in a car, we are coming live la eCherry eMbombela, R40 Riverside Park Extension 6. Mangabe ufuna test drive this coming Saturday, 10 January 2025. You can come and choose any car that you love or you feel or phupho lakho lekuthi ushayele, then you stand a chance ukuthi uenjoy voice roll nje mawuqedza test driver mabathatha amamniningwane wakho thatha ku voice roll uba mnanzi. We are moving along, colleagues. I'm loving the conversation. Cameroon leshaya icembu lesive la South Africa idlala ne Morocco ma host lawa in 13 previous meetings with the AFCON host. Cameroon have lost only twice and unbeaten in their last 6 such encounter. Cameroon lesikhuluma ngayo sesikhulumile ngayo mara idlala ne Morocco ma host. Le Morocco le ma host le inemidlalo engimthandzako kule tournament.
Hakim.
Diaz.
Oh.
Hayi top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Idlala ku Madrid. Ayi hlakaniphile man.
Yeah.
Morocco coach idlala ne Cameroon. Kunale nto loyishilo kule podcast esibuya kuyo. Wakhuluma ukuthi umuntu loyifisa kakhulu iAFCON ngeSamuel Eto'o.
Yeah.
Ubonakala against Bafana Bafana. Leya njabulo.
Yeah. True. No. Thanks, G. Good game. Morocco, the host.
Yes.
Yeah. But the 12th man, they've got the 12th man.
Yes.
Yeah. And then second, they've got good quality squad. And the weather, the altitude. So it favors them. But it's going to be a very different ball game. Because Cameroon are not pushovers. They are not minnows. So how many times has Cameroon won the AFCON?
4 or 5.
Yeah. Yes. And then how many times has Morocco won the AFCON? So it shows you who's the underdog. So when the underdog is Morocco.
In this instance, yeah.
In this instance, yes.
Yeah, true.
Because Cameroon is coming up with a pedigree.
Yes.
They've won the AFCON.
And Cameroon is coming as a host and player number 12.
Number 12. So Cameroon can be the spoilers. They can be the spoilers.
Are you sure, coach?
Yeah, they can spoil the game. Because if you look at Morocco,
yes,
they have emulated the same performance before when they were playing when they played the World Cup. They are not there. Their game is not that flowing. They are struggling. They're struggling in terms of rhythm, movement. Yes, they are scoring, they have individual players, but still in terms of performance, they haven't built that momentum. There's still something lacking in their game.
Mshila, ngiyobe ngisebenzisa ligama leli right mangithi against Tanzania. Ngibabona ngathi ba struggleisha or iTanzania bephakamse kakhulu. I stand to be corrected.
GTZ, Cameroon, historically, they've got what we call in my language, we say ungabinyoka uyunzuluta. That means
when
when you kill a snake, chop the head.
Oh.
So you fail to beat Cameroon.
Say that again.
Ungabinyoka uyunzuluta so.
Okay.
Ungayishaya udlale ngayo so itovuka to regain strength.
Oh, okay.
So Cameroon is like that snake.
Yes.
If you want to deal with Cameroon, chop the head first. We've made mistakes. Countries have made mistakes. South Africa has made mistakes. Tanzania has made mistakes. They've allowed Cameroon to progress. And I can tell you now, they're unstoppable. They will impose their physicality against Morocco. And Morocco, they won't match Cameroon in terms of physicality. They are not tactically sound. They are not like, you've got these tactically plans and stuff, but they will just come gonzo at you. They will throw everything at you. And physical, I'm telling you, Morocco will come second.
So who is winning this one?
Cameroon.
Oh.
You can spoil the part.
Yeah, I mean, I think I will differ. I'll say Morocco will take it, but I echoed what he's saying and what Coach Pete is saying.
Okay.
Because against Tanzania, they struggled.
Yeah.
They really struggled.
They should have killed him.
And there's something that Coach Pete said on the previous podcast. I'm sure the viewers, if they listen very well, they will remember his words.
Yes.
And it happens against Tanzania. He mentioned something about the referees favoring the Northern African teams. There was a clear penalty for Tanzania.
Yeah,
got
that's
me
not-
one.
yeah.
They didn't give them. And when I was watching, I remembered his words. He mentioned that. So I'm saying Morocco will win based on that.
Based on the
And because they are playing at home. So they'll want to favor them for that.
Okay. Awufuni withdraw mshiya ukuthi
No. Cameroon will go China.
coach awufuni withdraw.
Cameroon. Watch China.
Spoil the part.
Just watch the space.
Morocco for you.
Yeah,
Cameroon.
A nice one. Okay. Algeria idlala Nigeria. Historically, the two nation teams have faced off 22 times. Algeria have claimed 10 wins. Nigeria have 9 victories to their name and 3 matches were draws. Algeria ifika la gu last 8 ibeke hlula iqembu le DR Congo kuma extra time. I was not impressed about Algeria. Yebo, it's one of the big African giant, but against DR Congo, I felt like DR Congo deserved to win that game. After that performance, 90 minutes. I stand to be corrected.
Yeah, I think I did mention previously, GTZ and the viewers at home, to say I was surprised by Nigeria, the way because they seem like they playing as a team. And I think I'm asking myself, what is motivating them so much? I think the exclusion Yabo to the FIFA World Cup is giving them to say, let's give everything that we have for AFCON. So I don't see Algeria standing a chance against Nigeria. I don't see them standing a chance because you can see Osimhen, I think they were 3-0 up. They couldn't pass him a ball, but he was shouting at Lukman. So you can see the fire in his eyes, how much they want this AFCON. So for me, I don't think Algeria will stand a chance against Nigeria. I see Nigeria going through.
Benguela lenye podcast, one of the legends yase Nigeria, Obi Mikel, he did mention ukuthi he would love to see such debate or whatever you call it, the moment Lukman na Osimhen fielding. But after that, you need to go to Munvu and apologize because Victor was the one who left first in Nigeria on that tunnel in Mozambique. Mind you, he didn't want to celebrate after 90 minutes. He just went off to the tunnel. Is he big ngalendlela leyo even lase Nigeria? Whatever leyendeke kuye na Lukman na Victor, so is he big ngalendlela leyo? Coach.
Yeah. Victor, he was playing for Napoli.
Yes.
The reason Napoli let him go to Galatasaray.
Yes.
Because if you can, there are a lot of suitors. There were many teams who, you will go to England, the teams, because he was a top striker.
Yes.
Yeah, but the reason that most teams did not go for him was because of his attitude. His attitude is not right for football. And no one is bigger than football, and no one is bigger than the team. So there's one incident that happened, I don't know, when they are playing the group stage,
yes,
where he scored the goal, and then he went and showed somebody on the bench. I don't know who was he, but Show somebody at the back. So in football, in football we don't like players because football is a team sport. So he need to be part of a team, you know. But Nigeria need him because he can score a goal anytime. If he's there, you've got that point of reference with him. You've got that he can hold the ball. When he's there in the box, he's always in the box. Anything can happen, you know. So it's a trump card for them. So the coach needs to tell them and sit down. And if you can check, Lookman has achieved more than Osimhen. Lookman has achieved, but he's always humble.
Calm.
Yeah, he's always calm. And Lookman is more creative player than Osimhen, because Osimhen, his only contribution is only in the final third. So he can't drop and dribble people and score. He can only score when he's there to seize a kick, he can head. But Lookman can drop, he's very creative. Anytime he's a pressure cooker, he can score a goal. You know, but for the sake of the team and sake of the country, they need to work together. They need to find a way, can work together.
But Sabasotile, go right, the team is back on normal. Mshika. Vita na Lookman angathi ubone njani kuwe njengemshadi welibhola etinyawo. Is it a good thing what he did, or une passion, une hunger, always udlalela kuwina?
The behavior of that player, Victor Osimhen, there's a final line that defines the fighting spirit and the lack of discipline. A player of his caliber has to know that his passion should not supersede the team spirit, the interest of the team as a whole. He must be a team player. Much as he wants to win, but that should not be done at the expense of a team spirit. I don't want to go back and look at how they played against Mozambique. The writing was on the wall. And I said last week that Nigeria will go and will check. I said that.
Yes.
But what is happening, it's a clear sign that Nigeria needs a coach that commands respect. In my view, the players that are there in the Nigerian team, they don't have much respect for Coach Echin. He's just there, he's a coach. But their behavior can somehow tell you that we can play without you, coach. And you don't need that in your setup. That is very bad.
Egypt in Ivory Coast, there have been 21 meetings, these two sides, with Egypt winning 11, Ivory Coast taking 6 victories and 4 games ending in a draw. Ivory Coast, Coach Makati.
Yeah, Ivory Coast, I think they won the previous AFCON, but they were not as good as they are this time around.
Good.
Yeah, this time around I think they're playing better compared to when they won the previous AFCON. So now they're playing Egypt. It's going to be a tricky one. It's going to be a tricky one in terms of who's taking it, because on the previous episode I said Morocco, Egypt. Either of them is going to take it, but I said Morocco is going to take it. So the one Ivory Coast and Egypt. I'm not convinced by Egypt with the last performance. I was really not convinced. Probably it was the changing of maybe not the personnel, but the playing positions. Now Trezeguet on the previous game was playing on the right. Mo Salah was playing almost half a 10. Maybe it contributed in terms of how they were playing and the injury of their right back. But looking at how Ivory Coast was playing, I was convinced. So coming back to this game, I think in terms of intensity, Ivory Coast have players who are able to play with high intensity. Their wingers have got speed. The player, from Man United, for me, I think he's doing an exceptional job. Exceptional job. Then there's this player who's 19, just number 19, who was playing the left wing on the other side. The energy of that boy, it's marvelous. The entries that he's making in the box. So if I were to put my head on the block, I think Ivory Coast is going to take this one.
Yana Diomande, RP Leipzig. Aye, what a youngster. He's doing well. He's very good. Coach, Egypt. Uthi Makati, I see convinced in Egypt.
Yeah.
They won't spoil the party.
What I want to say, Janine, is, you see, I've said North African versus West African. So in terms of style, if you analyze, you check the North African countries, they are rigid in terms of their approach. tactically disciplined with the European influence.
True.
And then when you come, the game, if you check Egypt, you check Morocco, okay, at least they do have some creativity in terms of their play.
Yeah.
But Egypt and Algeria, there's no creativity in their play.
True.
And the only player who was creative in Algeria was Maresca. But Maresca now is old. He can't even finish a game. So he play in patches, So you've got our own West African countries, very aggressive, playing at intensity, creative in terms of our play. So you've got two styles now. But you can't say, because you need to guard against the North African countries. Yes. They know how to win. And Egypt, how many times have they won the Africa Cup of Nations? Yeah. And Hossam Hassan, their coach, has been there, have won about 3 or 4 AFCON. So we need to guard against them. So we must not be carried away. Yeah. So, but in this game, I said in the last podcast, I go with the Ivory Coast.
Yeah, you did say.
Ivory Coast. Yeah. Ivory Coast idlala nebakafaro eBhayibhelini.
Yeah, it will be a humdinger of a game. Trust me on that one.
You said what?
It's going to be a humdinger of a game. Going to be a crack.
Humdinger. Okay, go back.
So, yes, why am I saying that? We profile these two teams on separate page. You've got the Ivory Coast. In my view, Ivory Coast, they are too individualistic in their approach. They don't play as a cohesive unit. That will be their downfall against the Pharaohs. Their Pharaohs, you won't even mention 4 players, except Salah, whoever, and that just Momoshi plays for Manchester City. But one thing good about them, they play with a cohesive unit. They apply correctly the tactical synergy in the game. For that, they've got an edge against Côte d'Ivoire. I'm giving it to the Pharaohs.
Okay. Give it to the Pharaohs.
Undermine them at your peril. They'll go through.
Okay. Just to remind you, would see the leading goal scorer, Morocco. Hey, Mfana Mushe, man. Lobiak Madrid.
Yes.
Diaz. No 4 goals. Kabi, una 3. Lukman, una 3. Mares, una 3. Victor, una 3. Salah, una 3. Sinayoko, una 3. Ngilabo ke laba leader ufake ba leader.
Bathi Sinayoko ngathi umntwana uthuka umuntu lomdzala thi Sinayoko.
Sinayoko.
Yeah.
What an aggressive player who is hungry. Hey, wona bakhuluma ngamaAfrika, bakhuluma ngala indvodza bathi Sinayoko. Uyayibona nje lapha kumabona ukuthi maybe kunifanele khoneni. It was not prepared, it's not on the script, believe me you. If mangabe bebathi yaphela le AFCON namuhla, who was going to be your player of the tournament?
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah. On top of my head, it's not going to be easy. But I think
I'll give it to Papa K.
Papa
K.
Papa K. Okay.
But for me, I think since Jongobusho, you are throwing us on a deep end, if I were to decide if AFCON was ending today, I'm going to give it to Lukman. And I'll explain why. He has 4 assists, he has 3 goals. So in terms of contribution, in terms of goals for Nigeria, it's 7. So based on that stat, I'll give it to Lukman.
Why, coach? I'll signal to explain.
Same, he scored about 2 goals. Huh? Yeah, he scored a praise goal, 2 goals. Yeah, his contribution, and he's still young. He's 19.
Mshika.
Osemi Victor.
Victor.
Yeah, he led them. But he puts the numbers on the board. Just go and check their qualifications before. And check them. Even during their qualification to the World Cup, he was at the forefront leading that team. Sometimes we need to separate one's personality and say, okay, we understand he's got his own shortcomings.
Yeah.
Just like everyone, I've got my own, you've got yours, you understand? But then we need to analyze and judge players objectively and say, at the end of the day, do we get the final user end? Osame will give you that.
Okay. Sisecherry embombela la sikhona siyakukhumbuta siyakutshela futhi mangabe aweva or ubukela le podcast umnyaka wa 2026 uqalile mhlambe uqeda kuthola umsebenzi or ispanini sabakhuphulele imali ufuna ukutesta ku test driver leyi-1 imoto yakaCherry, you are more than welcome on Saturday 10 of January 2026 la embombela R40 Riverside Park extension 6 town ngila bakaCherry babe bakhona khona nge-test driver nje you stand a chance ukuthi ke utholele Voros roll ubeke mnandi on a Saturday. Make it a point. You come with a driver's license, a valid driver's license. Ungathi ndo test driver mara just have a chance. With this question, I want to stand so that the nation can see. I'm standing. Bafana Bafana. It's in the way forward. What is the way forward? The Bafana Bafana. Siagu World Cup in 6 months' time. Mexico, Canada, USA. It's in the way forward.
Way forward for Bafana Bafana for me. The first one, if you remember, let's go back when you go to Korea, Japan.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a technical committee for the World Cup to assist the coaches. So I think if Safa they can, or Hugo Bruce, with this Safa's hierarchy, they can have something like that. Well, yeah, the technical committee supporting, analyzing players in terms of stats. And, why I'm saying that? Looking at our technical team, we've only got Hugo Bruce and Helman Mkhalele. So, and if you look at the other teams, we can't have a technical committee, 2 coaches. Yeah, so there are a lot of gaps. So they need to beef. Yeah, going forward.
It's a critical point.
Yeah. Then the second one, for me, I think Hugo Bruce, he needs to pair his hedges with Nyoso. Because he's a key player, we need him.
You need Lodge.
Lodge, yeah.
Go
World Cup. Because we've only of 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah. For 6 months. Yeah. Yes, but yes. So we need all our best players for the World Cup. Because we can make history. We'll be playing Mexico. 11. On the 11.
Yes. Africa 2010.
Yeah. Yes. So we'll be playing Mexico. So as you know, Mexico, they are very passionate in terms of football. So we can make history. Imagine if we can go there. And beat Mexico on the first game.
Yeah.
That would be history. But we need to prepare
Properly.
We need to prepare for that. Because the World Cup is not like AFCON. So they need to go back to the drawing board, come up with a plan. And again, the last one, SAFA and PSL, they need to fix the calendar. Because we need all our players to be there early as possible to prepare for the World Cup. So communication is key between SAFA and PSL.
Nice one. Dovala ngawo Coach Sandile. Pshiga. Way forward. 6 months, World Cup yaqala.
Yeah, look, GTZ, my belief is that if it's ain't broken, don't fix it. I think we mustn't be tempted, or we mustn't be overtaken by events to a point where we think Hugo Bruce must do something extraordinary compared to what he has been doing. That guy led Bafana Bafana to where we are today. You understand?
Yes.
With his Helman Mkhalele and Grant Johnson,
yes,
we've managed to secure some successes. So maybe Hugo Bruce feels that, look, I don't mind the call of a catch as long as he can catch the mice. That means even if I don't have a lodge, but if I win, it is okay. So let's just give that man a chance, space, and latitude to continue to do his job. I've got faith that Hugo Bruce. The thing is, you cannot just the thing is you cannot just change now and put Mshiga or Etabo, whoever now, and expect miracles. You understand? It is just too late. So let's just respect the hierarchy that has been installed and allow Hugo Bruce to check Bafana Bafana to the World Cup.
You are saying 80% of badlali la kahambe nabo AFCON uhamba nabo ku World Cup.
It's not about badlali labahamba nabo, but let's allow him to finish what he has started.
His working style.
His working style. For once, let's just respect that. There is, I mean, we don't have time now to say we want to coach whoever. I don't want to mention him. Yeah. No. If that coach is good, he should have been coaching somewhere. He should be coaching somewhere. So those coaches that you want, they don't have teams, and it's not by mistake. Let's respect Hugo Bruce.
Okay, Sandile.
Yeah, thank you, Tesival. I think I'll echo with what Coach Pete has said. I think way forward, Hugo Bruce go to a drawing board. Because I think he has done exceptionally well.
Yes.
As a country, banning the national team naidlal. So in my stadium, Bafana Bafana, in my TV, we are watching. But now I think I share the same sentiments with Coach to say he did it before to say Angimtsing Tembazwan. He said it on national TV, but he went back and swallowed his pride. Yes. He brought him back. Yes. I strongly feel again with Lodge, he must go back and swallow his pride just for the World Cup. Because believe you me, in all the World Cups that we have played, even the one that we've played at home 2010, we've never went beyond the group stages. So for me, advancing my group stages will be an achievement for Bafana Bafana. Okay. So to advance in my group stages, I feel you need a player like Nyoso because he can solve problems on the final third. That's number one. Number two, I echo against with Coach Pete. PSL and SAFA, they need to work together. Because we know in South Africa, in terms of Nedbank Cup, it's up until May. And then when will there be time for preparation for a World Cup? So they need to try and push it like they did 2010. By Qatar early PSL to afford the Brazilian coach enough time to prepare. So if it means Nedbank Cup must play during the week, they must do that. So at least come May, for the entire month, the entire team is assembled, is at camp, they are doing well. Last but not least, Coach Pete said something the other day in Amshiga when we were talking of, I think even on the last episode we spoke about it, where you spoke about Mkwena, looking in terms of fatigue, nan. So in terms of way forward again, Hugo Bruce, for me, he must take it upon himself. I know that Sundowns is chasing Pirates on the league, they are chasing CAF Champions League, but they must speak to Sundowns to find a way how to manage Tebo Homkwen. Because believe you me, since he broke to Supersport, he's been playing. Yes. He's been playing non-stop. And if he were to pick up an injury between Jan and April, he's not going to the World Cup. Maybe now, since we are out of AFCON, they must give him a break up until maybe the 20th, because I think we are resuming on the 25th. They must give him at least 2 to 3 weeks so he can rest, because we need him. That's my way forward.
Danko, okungapheli ngiyahlola ngeSwati. Shout out to Cherry. We really appreciate the support that you are giving us as the viewer of this podcast, and keep on doing what you know. You just press subscribe and you tell your friend to do that. We really appreciate. So on Saturday, 10th of January 2025, book a test drive and enjoy a Voris roll with us on Saturday. You can test drive any car. So right now, we'll take you through the car that you can test drive. Come Saturday, 10 January 2026. I am GTZ and we out. Danko!
Top of the evening Mzansi, top of the evening Pumalanga, top of the evening Bombela. It's your boy, the game changer. Usise Cherry Bombela. As you can see, today's profiler is Cherry Tiggo 7 CSH Ultra. This is your beast, about 265 kilowatts. We're born a Lendi Fresh, Lendi Mnandi. It's your plug-in hybrid. Ngala petrol. So la, it's your plug-in hybrid. So on the other side, I'll take you quickly. If you will. So it's hybrid, electric, and petrol. So basically, this is your keyless entry type of a vehicle. Anything is key again. Lendi fresh, lendi smooth. I born on a boot. It's an electronic boot. as you can see. So I'll quickly take you inside the vehicle and explain. You're looking at about from 10,000 a month on this beast, on this machine. As I can click on it, I'll jump right in. It's got both electronic seats, your passenger and driver. Coming in, coming off the pedal, brake pedal, a cluster on, your infotainment is on. As you can see here, I'm sliding your wireless charger over here. These models, you've got two models on the Tigo 7 hybrids. You've got the CSH Ultra and the CSH Plus. What's the difference between the two? The CSH Ultra has a sunroof and the CSH Plus doesn't have a sunroof. The CSH Ultra has your Sony system, Sony sound system, and the CSH Plus does not have Sony. Lastly, the CSH Ultra has 8 speakers and the CSH Plus does not have 8 speakers, it only has 6 speakers. That's the only difference. The rest, the benefits, the fuel efficiency, the traction, your kilowatts are the same. So now, why buy an SUV elsewhere? Whereas you can get yourself an SUV CSH Ultra or CSH Plus from Cherry Mbombela. So I'm the game changer, Musamoko, and is saying to you, come to Cherry Mbombela and purchase your electric vehicle or come for a test drive so you can feel the vehicles that we have here in Cherry Mbombela. Guys, for those of you that are wondering who's the game changer, here's my number: 071-809-2555. I'll go a bit slower. 071-809-2555. Hit me up. I'll give you an electric car.
You are watching Sport Talk with GTZ, General Tata Zonke. Sport Talk, the General's view. GTZ, General Tata Zonke.